Good morning, guys. Definitely wanted to drop this message in to the group. Andreas brought this to my attention. I completely forgot about the strategy, but I'm glad that he brought it up because now is the perfect time for us to go into it. So now that we all understand technical analysis, we all understand the value of pullbacks. All right. So when we're talking about charting stuff out on the chart and using Fibonacci and all this stuff, we always say you never come into the market when it's at its high point. As traders, as investors, we always want to buy at the lowest point, sell at the highest point if we're long. And if we're bearish, we want to buy at the highest point, sell at the lowest point, or sell at the highest point, and then exit the trade at the lowest point if we're bearish. So specifically, if we're long on a specific stock, we want to wait for the pullback so that we can get part of that continuation on the upside. All right, or we want to be there before the stock takes off and jumps up. So what this is right here is Yahoo Finance's watch list for the worst performers of the day. Okay, so what we're looking for is we're looking for stocks that are in the red for the day, and trying to see if there is a potential pullback for this specific stock to see if there's an entry point for an option or even maybe a long-term buy and hold situation, buy and hold position. So if you open up your options trading resources, I'm about to update this in the back end. Check out your options trading resources, and I left some of these links in here for you. So I have the entire watch list on here, but I specifically pulled out three ones that I look at for different reasons. So I pulled out the dividend growth leaders. All right, so dividend growth leaders, dividend growth leaders is here. Dividend growth market leaders here, and I also pulled out high yield dividend stocks, and I also pulled out brands that consumers love. Okay, so the high yield dividends and the dividend growth leaders are for long-term positions. So I'm looking for pullbacks in those specific stocks because I want to invest in those stocks for the long term. All right, so if I see a good entry position on them, then I will enter at that particular moment, and then anticipate it continuing to go up, and then I can take advantage of those dividends as well as the growth in the stock. So that would be the perfect time to buy. For the brands that consumers love, I'm looking at stocks that are well known, stocks that are already on the upside, stocks that are already on a bullish trend, and if they're bearish for today, then to me all that could potentially mean is a pullback. So what I do is I go through this list and I look for companies that are within my price range for my risk management purposes, and then I'll see how big of a change it's had for the day, and then I'll pull up on the chart and see if I can find a good entry position. So let's look at Visa. All right, Visa $205, $2 adjustment for the day, 1%. So that's not huge, but it could be a good opportunity for us. So I got this pulled up on the daily chart, right? So as you can see, the COVID drop here. Before COVID, it was at 214. All right, but if you look at what the analysts are saying, we look at Visa. The analysts say the 1-year target is estimated to be at $241. Now the PE ratio is good. The earnings per share is good. So also they pay dividends. Not a lot, but they do pay dividends. If you look at the earnings, you can see that they beat earnings the last 4 times. Another earnings call April 28th. All right, so they're in good standing as far as their finances. The analysts are saying the recommended buy, and hold. No sales here. All right. Only one person downgraded. Everybody else is maintaining their position or upgrading. All right. Check out the news. Look at exactly why it might be turning around today. If it's nothing significant on here, no red flags, then maybe you want to start looking at entering in for a long position. Now, we all understand Fibonacci at this point. So we can actually use the Fibonacci retracement tool to see if it's see exactly where it's at on the measurement, okay? So you can look and see here's a low point here, a high point here, all right? A high point here, a low point here. So you can look at it either way. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stay on the right side of the market and look at the 50 moving average and the 200. 50 crossed over the 200, you're in the uptrend, all right? I can scroll down to the 4 hour and see basically the same thing. Now that price is testing the 50 moving average, crossed the 50 and looks like it tried to cross the 200 because we're in a pullback. So what we want to do is we want to look at this current price movement right here on the 4 hour. We're gonna go from January 29th all the way up until now, okay? So I'll take out my Fibonacci retracement tool, go from swing low to swing high. All right, and basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wait and see what happens, okay? I'm gonna wait and see what happens. Now I'm looking at this to see how far this pullback is gonna go. All right, I can scale down to the 1 hour. I can scale down to the 1 hour and look at this on the 1 hour chart and just watch it for the rest of the day and see what happens. Now, price could stop here and start going up, and that's completely fine. That would also give me a potential entry position because, again, what we're looking at is trying to be there along for the ride for this $241 price target, all right? So this is what the analysts are saying. Doesn't mean that it's a 100% definite situation or prediction, but all we can do is use the news that we have, seeing that we're not finding anything negative about this company or anything in that realm. But all we can do is use the information that we have. So we're gonna go up here and we're gonna mark this $241 price target. All right. We're gonna mark this $241 price target. All right, and we're also going to pull up. We're gonna scale down to the daily, and we're gonna use the pivots. So I'm gonna look at the yearly pivots real quick and see what the yearly pivot is telling me. Okay, yearly pivots. We're around that range right now. As you can see, price opened up above the pivot for the year, fluctuated down. It is a high possibility that price could drop all the way down to the support level and then come back up. But that's the reason why we're not entering today. We're just looking to see if this pullback is complete. All right, now we're on the daily chart. You can see these green candles, and just right now it's like looking like a doji on the daily chart. All right, but it might come up, it might come down. We don't know. We're probably not even going to enter this trade for the day, but now it's on our radar because we saw it on the chart for the worst performers of the day. So price could go all the way down to test this support level, or price could bounce up and continue on the uptrend and go all the way up into this level by the end of the year. We don't know. All right, we just want to be in position, and we want to just pay attention. All right, so I pull up the monthly, and the monthly is telling me that the price target for the monthly, the resistance level already has been breached. So the retracement makes sense. The retracement could drop all the way down to 293 cents or 281 cents. All right. I don't think that it will drop all the way down to the support level, but as you can see, the previous week it actually did drop down to the support level. All right. So remember when I said when you're looking at these pivots and you see that the price fluctuate inside the pivot, didn't touch resistance, didn't touch support, normally what that means is the trend is probably going to try to change. Well, look what happened the following week. Trend changed. So this trend could continue to drop. All we're doing is watching right now. So I just want to show you, I just want to bring this to your attention so that you know that there are opportunities here. Now, also what we saw here is a consolidation zone. So here's a consolidation. When you see price consolidating within a certain range, It's trying to figure out exactly what it wants to do. All right. So when traders see this, it's a great sign for us because we know that the opportunity is coming up. When you see price consolidating like this, price is eventually going to go in one direction. It's going to go up or it's going to go down. It has to break out of this range. Sometimes you're going to experience a fake out. So when we say fake out, we mean price jumped out of this consolidation range and came right back in. This is the fake out here. But then you see price broke out and dropped to the downside. Now, if we skin this out, you see that it's still within this range. So at some point, price has to decide what it wants to do. Now, again, the analysts are telling you that the price target is $241.17. So you know that at some point it's going to break out to the upside. You just want to be in position when it happens. So what you can do is you can mark this out, and then you can set alerts on either side of this consolidation range. So that way, when price breaks out of this consolidation zone, you already know what to do. Now, if it breaks out to the upside, I'm gonna enter in for a long position and have my price target set at $241 and 17 cents and 17 cents. All right. And I'm gonna be ready for the come up. Okay. Obviously we could have a fake out, but we already got faked out once here. So I'm anticipating it to break out and go to the upside. So use these lists to help you with your watch list, to help keep certain stocks on your radar. So that way when you set your alerts and you know what to look for, you hear alert, now you know how to execute. You don't always have to depend on earnings calls and all this other stuff. You can look at the strategy that you know Fibonacci and you understand how to read the market. Today's worst performers, what that means, pullbacks. All right. So you could go through this list, look at companies that you might be familiar with or companies that you think are significant, see if you could pull them up on the chart and see if you can chart them out to see if there's a potential pullback for you. If you could throw the fib on there and it fits good and you see an entry, then you can go ahead and make something happen. Or if you see something like this where it's consolidating within a specific range, then you know a breakout is coming up and you can be ready for it. All right, there you go.